I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a
Hello, and welcome to the next installment of Secret Swipes and Lies showrunner commentary. I'm Desiree Page, the creator and showrunner for the series here on Eternal City TV. So let's jump right in. In this episode, Ménage À Not, I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of delve into the different types of situations that Suriya finds herself in or had found herself in. This one in particular was actually different, and this is probably what precipitated her using apps in the future after this. So right here is when she is talking to the guy that she hooked up with at her office. You know, they're working in the same place, and his girlfriend works there as well. And, you know, she's kind of self-conscious about this whole, like, I would say, love triangle per se. Unbeknownst to her, though, his girlfriend, Kristen, is bisexual. And there might have been a point where probably this was all premeditated from the very beginning and instigated by Kristen herself, which you could probably tell from some of her reactions. So Suriya was actually the one who didn't really know what was going on from the very beginning with her and Jason. And so we really wanted to kind of go into alternative lifestyles, you know, the swinger lifestyle, polyamory. Actually, the name of the song that is playing underneath the scene is called Polyandry, and it's basically talking about a polyamorous relationship, you know, and the rise of those types of arrangements, you know, nowadays. And so Suriya really doesn't, I think, get that that's what's going on here, that actually Kristen is kind of pulling all the strings, and Jason is really along for the ride in Kristen's sexual fantasies. And this is all about the power of women and exerting their sexual power. And, you know, in today's culture, a lot of polyamory, at least some people feel or think that it's all directed by the man. And it's not always directed by the man. And I wanted to really highlight that sometimes it is the woman's desires that really are propelling the situation. And in this situation, Jason is kind of along for the ride because, hey, you know, he's got his girlfriend. She doesn't mind, you know, if as long as she's involved and as long as she has veto power, that he could also have other women. What man doesn't want that? Except then Suriya kind of realizes it at that point, you know, when she realizes that Kristen is definitely letting it be known when she pushes her away that she calls all the shots. So this is when she says, you know, nobody puts baby in the corner. You know, I love that reference, and I wanted to really make that reference from Dirty Dancing, you know, just a little wink at that. And because, yeah, basically she was being put in the corner and telling her like what her place is in this relationship. And so then once she realized, oh, wait a minute, she's not in control of this situation, she decides to disentangle herself. And so that's what she's really like conveying to Jake. And in this moment here, though, he's wondering, like, did she tell anybody about what she's doing? And basically Sasha is her closest confidant that she has, because that's her longest friendship that she's had. Now, I think Benjamin would be more likely to accept what she's doing like wholeheartedly, whereas I think Sasha kind of gives her some rails. She doesn't really like, oh yes, go for it girl, you go girl, but she's not necessarily judging her wholeheartedly. So I think that's why she turns to Sasha, because she's afraid if she turns to Benjamin, like there are going to be no guardrails whatsoever. And so that's the main reason why she doesn't turn to Benjamin. In this moment, though, she's kind of rattling off all of the things that the patriarchy says, in terms of men cheating and men having, their cake and eating it too. So she's kind of just rattling off all of those things. Oh, it doesn't mean anything, it's just only sex, all of those excuses that men always throw at women when they're kind of caught out there cheating. And so she's kind of like just throwing it back at him, wanting to see how he reacts to that and her nonchalance about it. So this is really where they kind of have their little sword fight of words, and she's trying to really get at him, and he knows that's what's happening, so he's counteracting what she's doing, and so that's really where we are in this scene. So I hope you enjoyed this week's commentary, and if you would like to continue to hear the tea, please don't forget to share, like, or subscribe. And remember, you're only one swipe away from addiction.